Should you buy iPhone 11 Pro Max in 2021? That is a very good question, and let's get right into it. So let me go through the specs, really important specs at first. The iPhone 11 Pro Max has 4 gigabytes of RAM. 6.5-inch display has been released in 2019 as the flagship, of course. It rocks the Apple A13 Bionic chip and the triple lens camera setup on the back. I will talk more about all of these features right in this video. So definitely a very capable phone, and it may still be worth it in 2021. Let's talk about the display at first. Here on Apple Fox, we go from the most important thing to a user all the way to the least important one throughout the video. And since the display is the thing you literally look at all the time, let's talk about it first. It is very bright in sunlight, very bright sunlight. You can see everything, unlike on the older iPhones like iPhone 8 and 8 Plus. Those might have some problems on a very bright sun. The 11 Pro Max display has the brightness of 800 nits with the peak brightness of 1200 nits. That means that it can get there at certain times, but not all the time. The screen makes it perfect for watching movies, Netflix, and YouTube videos because of the size of the screen, the color accuracy, and the OLED technology of the display, which combined together has a really nice viewing angles, size, colors. Everything looks pretty nice on this screen. True colors and true blacks are definitely noticeable with black websites, night movie scenes, and pretty much everywhere when there is a black color, which with the OLED, of course, blends in perfectly and looks really natural and nice. The display does not feature 3D touch. No newer models have it, but I personally miss it a lot. That's why I kind of mention it all the time. If you follow the channel, you know that I always talk about things I like, as well as those that I just can't stand about iPhones and everything Apple. So in case you don't want to miss out on the next video, make sure to definitely subscribe, and let's continue with this video. The screen of the iPhone 11 Pro Max is very sharp, especially noticeable when reading books, articles, or when there's a lot of text or digital elements. The edges of every letter are sharp and nice to look at. With 458 ppi, it's really nice to look at, and fun fact, the iPhone 12 Pro Max has exactly the same ppi, so you're not missing out on anything with the 11 Pro Max. With 83.7% screen-to-body ratio, it is one of the biggest among iPhones, and you can pretty much consider this to be a bezel-less iPhone. The notch, well, if you're already used to it from iPhone 10, 10s, then it's just fine, but if you watch videos on full screen, you can decide if you want to watch them in a regular way or stretch out to fill the entire display. You can do it in YouTube, Netflix. With every video you have the option to choose how to watch it. Plus, you can also decide which side the notch is supposed to be on while watching any video. But for this, you have to make sure that the rotation is unlocked, and you can have it either on the right or on the left. Another difference, for example, when you compare it to the previous XS Max, to the previous flagship, is that the contrast ratio has been upgraded from 1 million to 1 to 2 millions to 1, which is quite a big difference, I guess. Cameras. Well, the cameras on the 11 Pro Max are pretty much the highlight of the entire phone. The triple lens setup on the back is something unheard of until the 11 Pro actually came to the market, and the cameras are of course pretty nice. You can change the settings right from the actual camera app, which may not seem like that important, but you cannot do it on every iPhone, believe it or not, so you can do that on the 11 Pro Max. But to quickly go through the specs, every camera lens is 12 megapixels. So you have 3 lenses, you have wide, telephoto, and ultra wide, and the aperture changes. You have f1.8 on the wide lens, you have f2.0 on the telephoto lens, and you have f2.4 on the ultra wide. But things that you should probably know that it can take really beautiful and stunning photos. You don't really need to carry around the heavy and expensive cameras anymore, and you can just take a look at some of the photos I took on this phone. They look absolutely amazing. I have pretty much nothing to add to them, and with the portrait capabilities and all of the functions you have in the camera, You have, of course, all of the things like panoramic photo, you have the regular, you have video, you have slow motion, you have time lapse, all the great stuff. And the selfie camera is so good that it can take 4K videos at 60 FPS, which is like truly amazing. When it comes to the durability and build quality, it has rounded edges. It's a big difference from iPhone 12, of course, where everything is squared on that one, but it sits pretty comfortably in the hand, like because of the rounded edges, it doesn't really hurt you or anything like that. It is a bit slippery without the case, but you probably wouldn't want to use it without the case, so that's out of the question, I guess. The bag doesn't get smudgy, dirty, or nasty. You cannot see the scratches back there. It's glass, so technically it can break, but it doesn't happen very often. Scratches, like I say, aren't really visible there. And of course, it's a Gorilla Glass, so it should be pretty durable. There's a metal frame around the phone which can be scratched very easily, so look out for that when buying a used one. And of course, when buying the new iPhone, you have a few colors to pick from. You have the midnight green, which is the new one, but don't worry, it's a very subtle color. If you're deciding if you want to go for that one, it's not going to be like a huge deal and it's not going to stand out that much. Like I say, it is a very subtle and won't be too apparent or weird. The performance on this device is really nice. You have 4 gigs of RAM, which is probably, if that is the biggest concern for you, Apple is very efficient with the data and with the amount of memory they use. Like, of course, this may not seem to be that much compared to what Android's phone have, but like I say, Apple is very efficient on how they do that, so it runs really smoothly. I have tons and tons of apps installed, and each one works like a charm when I tap on it. I have never really had like a problem with the performance, especially because it's like almost the brand new iPhone. So for a couple of years, it's gonna be very good. And looking at it like from the future viewpoint, while the software and the support should be here and be available for a very long time, at least like 4 or 5 years, depending on how well Apple is going to keep updating the older devices in the future. So you can definitely expect a long support for the software, just like with every new iPhone. That wouldn't really be a concern for me. Now, if the question is if you should buy this device in 2021, the question when we just take a look at the phone is definitely yes, but that of course depends on for how much you can actually get it. If you get it like a huge deal, then definitely go for it. The price starts with like $700 all the way to $1,000 and even more depending on where you get it. So that is that, but you can definitely cannot get it from the official App Store. They removed it from their lineup of iPhones just because they want to make the iPhone 12 shine. So that is the reason for it. So you will definitely have to get it from somewhere else, or perhaps Apple brings out the 11 Pro Max in the refurbished section on their website. So look out for that as well. But yes, it's definitely a great phone, and if you decide if you want to buy it or not, definitely look at the price and go for it if you want to. Thanks a lot for watching and your support. Leave a thumbs up if you have watched all the way till this moment, then you definitely have to support me with your thumbs up. I would definitely appreciate it. Thanks a lot for watching and your support, and see you guys later.